Did you know the Delano Grape Strike started with Filipino farm workers? Today is Cesar Chavez Day, but what you're often not taught is that Larry Itliong, Vera Cruz, and the Manong Filipinos actually started the movement weeks before inviting Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, and other Mexicanos into the movement. So let's start with some background. Itliong, alongside Vera Cruz, participated in the 1948 Asparagus Strike, the first major strike after World War II. So by early 1965, Itliong and Vera Cruz were leading the Agricultural Workers Union Organizing Committee, or AWOC, a branch of the AFL-CIO. Their first grape strike was against the Coachella Valley grape growers, where they only succeeded in getting higher wages. So their next move was up north in Delano. The Manong Filipinos started to organize other workers who grew tired of the terrible working conditions in those vineyards. By September 1965, around 800, some records say as high as 1,500, Filipinos walked out from 10 different vineyards, and the Delano Grape Strike began. Here's what they demanded: a raise in both their hourly wages from $1.25 to $1.40, and an in-piece rate, or the rate of pay a worker earned per box of grapes packed, to go from 10 cents to 25 cents per box. So the farmers were like, bet, and went to the Mexicanos in an attempt to hire them as replacements. Itliong was like, oh, let's see about that, and reached out to meet with Cesar Chavez of the National Farm Workers Association, which consisted mainly of Mexicanos, on September 16th, 1965. And yes, he picked that date on purpose. It should also be noted that Cesar Chavez asked the Mexicanos not to cross the line. The Mexicanos agreed to join the strike. On March 17, 1966, together the Filipinos and Mexicanos set out on a march from Delano to Sacramento. Originally, they had only about 70 farm workers and volunteers, and it grew to 10,000 by April 11th when they finally got to the steps of the state capitol. A few weeks later, AWOC and the NFWA merged together to form what you now know as the UFW, or United Farm Workers, giving the movement a stronger backing in their fight. With the two groups united, this changed the landscape. However, this wasn't the first time Latinos and Asians worked together for workers' rights either. The strike now had numbers to garner national attention. The unity of these two groups focused on getting media coverage. News outlets began to cover the strike. Newspapers had ads asking people to support their cause. In all, the Delano Grape Strike lasted from 1965 to 1970, and it was a success. They got higher wages, access to improved sanitation facilities, healthcare benefits, safety protections from pesticides, and the right to union, and better working conditions.